What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about how Black Ops 6 is restoring classic Call of Duty multiplayer as fans are getting the menus and systems that they've been asking for. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and I want to remind you guys that if you have any questions about the Black Ops 6 reveal or anything from the direct specifically, feel free to drop a question down below in this video's comments or in a post on Detonated's Twitter. I can go ahead and try to answer the question as best as I can. I can't exactly talk about what I got to play at Treyarch Studios a week and a half ago, but can still help you guys out with any confusion there might be about what has already been confirmed and revealed by the studio. But as a big FYI, there's plenty of brand new article coverage going up on detonated.com for those that want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. Now this week we couldn't do a new episode of the Bombshell podcast. They ended up revealing Season 4 Reloaded a bit late, so I couldn't pre-record an episode before I went out of town, but we'll be back to the usual podcast schedule live here on the channel as of next Friday following the launch of the mid-Season 4 update. I first want to start off with some brand new and really cool innovative features that we'll be seeing inside of Black Ops 6 multiplayer. First off, the human meat shield. We actually got a clip of this feature that got shown to us at Treyarch HQ, but I think they even put a clip of it in the direct event. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen so you guys can see. This is a feature that we saw a bit of in the Cold War campaign, but I don't believe anything like this has ever been inside of a Call of Duty multiplayer. I'm aware there's a lot of cool, wacky finishing moves or executions that kind of give you animations like this, but no, this is actually a feature that we'll be seeing in Black Ops 6 MP day one, and I'm sure during the beta as well. This is pretty crazy. I mean, it's going to be cool to see how an enemy can maybe get out of this animation if possible, or is it just like a replacement for a finishing move or something that we're going to have to figure out once the game officially launches. Now, I talked about omnidirectional movement quite a bit in several recent videos and on the podcast. It's what's going to make Black Ops 6 feel unique, especially on the Call of Duty unified engine. People had worries that Black Ops 6 would feel like Modern Warfare because of the unified engine, but no, omnidirectional movement, in my opinion, is going to innovate how Call of Duty feels for the foreseeable future. I doubt we'll ever step away from omnidirectional movement, at least not for a while, so long as it's all well received with the launch window, but we're going to be seeing a feature called corner slicing. So apart from the very interesting new movement system we have with your character, there's going to be a very intuitive lean and peek type move that you can do without really clicking any buttons, and in my opinion is a superior version of the leaning that we've been seeing inside of Modern Warfare titles from Infinity War. Now over at Treyarch HQ, we did ask various developers if there would be any advantage that a player could have if, let's say, they're using corner slice, which means they're just kind of peeking around a corner and their gun is just kind of positioned upwards a little bit. Will that give a player an advantage over somebody else who's not using that feature, or if they're on the other side of that room and they're being peeked at? We were wondering how that was going to work, but they did reassure us that this is going to be a very balanced feature that is going to be nothing but intuitive and ingrained very well with the omnidirectional movement that will be in Black Ops 6. Now, I think what's really exciting is the intelligent movement system they're also going to be incorporating, which means you can click less buttons to perform multiple movements. So to get around an environment, to traverse through a nice map design, whether it's an MP, zombies, Warzone, you don't have to click really anything to go ahead and maneuver over or, crouch beneath or mantle alongside pieces of the environment. So you'll be able to get around the environment a lot faster, and I believe you could of course turn off some of these features if you so please. There'll also be the supine prone ability, which also goes hand in hand with omnidirectional movement, the ability to be prone but then kind of move on your back and kind of put your weapon towards your belly to aim at somebody that might be behind you or someone that's near you at least. Really cool new features that are going to change how Call of Duty feels forever. But one other thing I'll mention here is in regards to hitboxes with Black Ops 6. Typically you only see hitboxes on like the head, the arms, the legs. Now there's even more hitboxes than usual, which creates a lot of interesting and unique animations when you shoot a player on some of these brand new hitboxes. And the best way to see some of these new animations on top of just killing somebody is if you personally die. You can get a really cool new death cam that I'm sure can get disabled if you don't want it. It gives you a third-person view of just what happened to your operator after death. You can see a really cool looking ragdoll effect that you would typically only see in a Treyarch title. But something we're about to see in the new Treyarch title that hasn't been seen in several years is this brand new beautiful lobby that Fajardi went ahead and recreated based on the image that we can already see from the direct event. There was a clip shown where a developer has the lobby up on his monitor and we're like, hold on a second, this is an early but clean look of the lobby and might just be one of the best looking lobbies of the last couple of years with a vertical drop down list depicting every player that's gonna be joining you. I talked about this a little bit in another video that has either gone up already or is about to in regards to COD HQ and that overhaul we're going to get with Black Ops 6, Treyarch really does care about giving this game its own identity. Although it's on the unified engine through COD HQ, the launcher, it still will feel like a new and fresh Black Ops experience that has its own unique menu and style that you wouldn't see in a game like Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. Now, I think going back to a classic looking lobby like this is really going to bring players back who may have been frustrated with the direction the UI has gone ever since COD HQ first released with Modern Warfare 2. I think Sledgehammer's done a great job, especially as of recently with the social menu updates, where they're trying to bring us back to that vertical list that we're all accustomed to. Instead of having all these boxes and this crazy horizontal-like layout, Sledgehammer's done their part, just improving on a system that they probably can't change too much when looking at how, yeah, MW3 is a direct sequel to MW2, so the game is kind of have to look the same visually at least. Now, as you guys have probably noticed, it's cool to point out a lot of the brand new innovative features of Black Ops 6 multiplayer that are gonna coincide with a lot of classic features that are coming back, which will revive that classic multiplayer feel and look that some folks have desperately been asking for. Now, I also want to add, when I was over at Treyarch Studios, there were a couple of other images shown which we obviously couldn't snap pictures of and obviously weren't shown during the direct event that also gave us an idea of what the menu is going to look like, especially when it comes to the multiplayer. And what I could say from that presentation is that, yeah, the multiplayer menu is gonna probably look the best that it ever has, at least in the last couple of years. But Treyarch made it very clear to us, yes, they've heard the feedback about the UI and the way that every game mode is laid out, and they're gonna do their best to bring us the best possible menu, especially on the COD unified engine. Now, I think it's great that the early preview we got for the Black Ops 6 lobby does confirm the return of daily challenges. I think it's very likely we also end up seeing weekly challenges or some frequent challenge events, especially considering that MW3's really set the bar with features like that. And you'll notice that with the daily challenges menu, there's an option to kind of scroll to the right to other categories. There's probably other challenge sets that you'll be able to track or take part in once Black Ops 6 releases, especially if you want to get some XP bonuses. But at the top, there isn't an event tab, at least not yet. Maybe they'll add that in with Season 1, but you can see options for weapons, operators, the Battle Pass, which we know that's not going anywhere, the customized options, and even the in-game store. I also think we may have gotten a glimpse of map voting, which I'm glad we'll end up seeing again in Black Ops 6. The image is pretty blurry, but you once again get a look at that clean Black Ops 6 multiplayer menu, and I believe there's 2 map choices you can choose from, as well as a classified option, unless you could for some reason pick between 3 different maps. Not exactly sure, don't quote me on this one, but I do think that's what we're looking at in this image in particular. But I can't help but wonder if, with a return of a bunch of classic features within Black Ops 6, will we also see the ability to avoid lobbies disbanding? Modern Warfare 3 also quietly introduced a feature like that as of a little while ago. It's not a feature that persists through every lobby that you're in, but you may notice every now and again you don't get thrown out of every lobby that you're in, which allows you to keep that classic COD feel of, okay, you want to do a rematch with some players you might have had a good matchup against. Now, I'm sure a decision like that won't be entirely up to Treyarch, but you can bet if they manage to get a bunch of other classic features back in Black Ops 6, they're probably also asking for features like the ability to stay with the same lobby in BO6 as well. Now, when you talk about a classic looking lobby menu on top of the return of classic prestige, this truly is restoring classic Call of Duty as we know it. And like they described to us at the studio a week and a half ago, they really are blending the best of just about every single Black Ops game to date with what has worked so well with recent Modern Warfare entries to bring us the best possible Call of Duty on the current unified engine, and I couldn't be more excited about that. I mean, they even went ahead and showed us a glimpse of the Prestige Master icon, and that's once you hit level 1000 inside of Black Ops 6. So with that in mind, and the fact they also showed us some classic Prestige icons during this animation preview, I'm curious if that was at all a tease that the Prestige shop is also going to return, so that you're rewarded with some type of free in-game currency once you hit certain milestones, and then you can use that currency like Prestige keys to buy classic Prestige icons or exclusive blueprints or other cosmetics that we've seen in previous Treyarch titles. Sky's the limit with this, but either way, they're truly bringing us a classic Call of Duty, while some folks out there may have been doubtful that that was ever going to be possible again, at least not during the Warzone era. Now, something I'm absolutely ecstatic about is HUD customization. This is something that we'll talk more about closer to, let's say, the beta, once we'll probably be able to experiment with this feature while playing multiplayer early. This is amongst one of the craziest features that I'm sure Treyarch has wanted to do for maybe several recent Call of Duty titles, but wasn't able to until maybe now, the ability to go ahead and customize the HUD in any game mode to your liking. Now, I'm a little iffy on campaign. I'm not sure if this will be in the single player, but they did confirm to us at the studio that this will be in multiplayer and zombies. I'm sure Raven, considering that they're working pretty tightly with Treyarch on campaign, I'm sure they'll end up working on bringing this feature into Warzone, and maybe it'll be in campaign post-launch or something, but maybe it'll be in all modes right away day one. This is going to be crazy, being able to move the minimap wherever you want, the compass, the weapon and its ammo, or any other features on the HUD. You can move any of those pieces of information to other parts of the screen. It's unclear how crazy you can get with this, but from the previews that we got during the Direct, this seems like the feature that we've all been waiting for and may allow us to make every mode feel like hardcore, and ironically solves an issue that Black Ops 4 Zombies had, which is that for players that didn't like the HUD or maybe want to go to more of a classic look, you're going to be able to do that now with Black Ops 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the future they re-release older HUDs from different Black Ops games that you either have to get through completing challenges or maybe they'll be in bundles. Wouldn't be shocked if you got to, let's say, grab the BO2, 3, or Cold War HUDs and apply them into Black Ops 6 in any mode that you want. Wouldn't be shocked if that was made available at some point to once again reinvigorate that classic Call of Duty feel. But the last thing I'll end with is theater mode. So they did confirm it's coming back. It'll be on the unified engine now, which maybe means they can also bring this into, let's say, Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer titles. Without getting too ahead of ourselves, I'm just hopeful that the theater mode in Black Ops 6 is on par with the version we had in BO2, the ability to save films forever essentially, and the ability to stock up on at least your last 30 films. I think BO3 had a good theater mode, but you couldn't save films for some reason. BO4's was a bit buggy, but it worked when you needed it to, and the version in Cold War was also pretty on point, I think similar to BO4 at least, but the ability to save films forever would be phenomenal, and I'm betting that with the extra dev time they've had for Black Ops 6, we're about to get the best version of theater that we've probably ever had. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on how Black Ops 6 is restoring classic Call of Duty multiplayer? How are you feeling about the brand new menus and systems that they're going to be incorporating this fall? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.